Good morning, dear kids. I am your computer teacher from Mount Litra Z School, Rampura Phul. Dear kids, as you can see in the picture that there is a mouse here. We all know that mouse is an animal and a mouse is very small in size. It has a tail and it runs very fast. You must have seen a mouse maybe around your house, in your house, or in your neighbors, but you must have seen a mouse. It can be white in color and it can be brown in color. Basically, we see the mouse which is brown in color. But dear kids, do you know that computer has also a friend and that friend is also a mouse? You must be thinking that how is this possible? How a mouse can be a friend of a computer? But yes, this is true. There is a friend of computer and that is a mouse. Now, if you think that I am talking about this mouse, then you are wrong. I am not talking about this mouse. There is one more mouse. Do you know what mouse is that? Let me show you. I am talking about this mouse. Yes, this mouse. This is a friend of computer. Now, you must be thinking that why ma'am is calling it a mouse. This is not a mouse. It is a part of the computer maybe. But why ma'am is calling it a mouse? Now, let me tell you that why do we call it a mouse. So, dear kids, today we are going to learn chapter number 4 of computer, and the name of the chapter is computer mouse. This mouse is called computer mouse. So today we are going to learn about this mouse. So let us start with the reading of this chapter. Now let us talk about the computer mouse. The first thing is that a computer mouse looks like a real mouse. If you see the shape of the mouse, look at this picture. And if I show you another picture also, look at the picture here also. Look at the shape of the mouse. It seems like a real mouse, and this wire is like the tail of the mouse. So बच्चे, this part of a computer is like a real mouse, an animal. So that's why we call it a mouse. Why? Because it looks like a real mouse. इसका जो shape है, इसकी जो wire है, it seems like a tail, and इसका जो shape है, it is like a real mouse. That's why we call this part a mouse. It is also small in size. This mouse is also very small in size. This mouse is also very small in size. Next we have, it has two buttons. Computer mouse has two buttons. One is left button and second is right button, and it has a scroll wheel also. Let me show you all the buttons of the mouse. Yes, here we have all the buttons of the mouse. If you see in the picture, this is the mouse and it has two buttons. This is also a button and we call it left button. Why do we call it left button? Because it is at the left side of the mouse, and this button is called right button. And why do we call it a right button? Because it is on the right side of the mouse. So these are the two buttons of computer. Left button, this is the first button, left button, and this is the second button, right button. So left button and right button. We have two buttons of computer. And now we have one more button. We cannot say it properly a button because it scrolls. It is a scroll wheel. It is a scroll wheel. Now, first thing is that what is the meaning of scroll? Scroll means which can move around or which can move in a circular motion. Scroll बेटे जिसको हम लोग आगे पीछे कर सकते हैं. We can move it up and down and we can move it in a circular motion. So scroll means which can goes up and down. And wheel means we all know वैसे wheel means the tire. So here wheel means something which is round in shape because this button of computer has a shape like a wheel. You see a wheel on a cycle, a car or a motorcycle. So it is like a wheel or we can say tire. And now why do we call it a scroll wheel? We call it a scroll wheel because the first thing that it has a shape like a wheel, like a tire, and second thing is that it scrolls. Scroll means it moves up and down also, and it moves like a circle. It moves in a circular motion also. So this is the left button of the mouse and this one is the right button of the mouse. So a mouse has two buttons. In many of the mouse you will find three buttons, but basically here in our chapter or we can say in our syllabus, basically we will talk about two buttons because mainly a mouse has two buttons. So and two buttons are enough for proper working of the mouse. So if somebody asks you how many buttons are there on a mouse, you will say it has two buttons, left button and a right button, and it also has a scroll wheel. It also has a scroll wheel. Now let us move further. It has a wire like a tail. Mouse has a wire as you can see in the picture. This is the wire. Here we have the wire and it is like a tail. If you see the tail of the mouse, this mouse which is an animal, and the tail of this mouse, they both seems like same. They both are same in shape. So it has a wire like a tail. That's why this wire looks like a tail of the mouse, which is fixed to the CPU box. Computer has a CPU. Computer has a CPU, and this wire of the mouse is always attached or fixed to the CPU box. ये जो बेटे माउस का जो वायर होता है वो CPU के साथ अटैच होता है and then it works. Nowadays we also use a wireless mouse. Now first of all tell me the meaning of wireless. The word is less. बेटे वैसे लेस का मतलब होता है कम होना, ठीक है, लेस का मतलब होता है कम होना, बट यहाँ पे इसका मतलब हो गया उसके बिना. सो वायरलेस मीन्स वायर के बिना. Let me show you the mouse which is wireless. So here we have two pieces, 1, 2, and they both are wireless. If you see that यहाँ पे इनके कोई भी बेटे यहाँ पे देखिए यहाँ पे कोई भी वायर नहीं है, ठीक है. So these are wireless mouses. Wireless means without wire. And to run these mouses we put cells in them. ठीक है, तो बेटे इनमें हम लोग सेल डालते हैं and they work. Here we do not need to attach the mouse with the CPU. यहाँ पे because these are wireless, इनमें वायर नहीं है तो हमें इनको CPU के साथ अटैच करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, because they don't have wire and they work without wire. ये बेटे बिना वायर के भी they work properly. And next we have a mouse is always kept on a mouse pad. Now, how to use a mouse? Basically, we keep the mouse on a mouse pad. Now, what is the mouse pad? Let me show you the pic of the mouse pad. If you see here in the pic, there is a blue color of mat. This is a small mat, a blue color. It can be in any of the color. It can be black also. It can be white also. And here in the picture, we have a blue mat. If you see, and we have kept the mouse on this blue mat. We have kept this white mouse on this blue mat. And this mat is called mouse pad. Mouse pad means a mat, a pad where we keep the mouse. And now the question is that why do we need a mouse pad to keep the mouse? And the answer is that we need a mouse pad for the proper working of the mouse. We can keep the mouse anywhere. If you're working on the, sitting on the sofa, you're working, then we can keep it on the table also. We can keep it on the sofa also, or we can keep it on some book also. But when we keep the mouse on the mouse pad, it works perfectly, it moves perfectly, and it points the things perfectly. So we need a mouse pad for the proper functioning and proper working of the mouse. Proper functioning and proper working of the mouse. So now let us talk about the uses of a mouse. The uses of a mouse. A mouse helps us to draw pictures, point and select any item on the monitor, and play games. Bete, if you see here, what is the monitor? First of all, what is the monitor? If you see here in this pic, this is a monitor. This is a monitor. The screen of your computer is called a monitor. The screen of your computer, बेटे जैसे हमारा टीवी होता है ना, टीवी में भी see everything. If you want to watch a movie, if you want to listen songs, कोई वीडियोस देखनी है आपको, हम लोग टीवी पे देखते हैं ना. In the same way, computer also has a screen like TV. If you see in the picture, computer also has a screen like TV, and this TV is called monitor. This TV is called monitor. So, why do we need a mouse? We need a mouse to select any of the things on the monitor. To select any of the things on the monitor. Suppose if you want to draw, if you want to paint on the computer, then बच्चे there are so many icons. If you see computer पे बेटे छोटे छोटे से parts होते हैं ना, या items लिखी होती हैं, names लिखे होते हैं, छोटे छोटे folders बने होते हैं. We call them folders. So we need to open them. And how will you open them? Using a mouse. With the help of a mouse, we can open them and we can select. So we can draw pictures also. We can select any item on the monitor and we can play games. The proper work of the mouse, I'll explain. I'll show you through a video in the next session. Whenever we have the next session of computer, I'll show you the video on the working of computer. So next we have how to hold and move a mouse. The working of the mouse, I'll show you the video on the same, that how a mouse works. But now we will move further and we will learn that how to hold and move a mouse. How to hold? How to hold means mouse को पकड़ना कैसे है? Mouse को पकड़ना कैसे है? If you see here in the picture, you look here in the picture. Here you have to keep your index finger. This is your index finger. ये देखिए बेटे, this is your index finger. You have to put your index finger on the left button of the computer, of the mouse, computer mouse. You have to keep your index finger on the left button. इस तरह से बेटे, जैसे यहाँ पे हम लोग we can see in the picture. Place the middle finger on the right mouse button. जो आपकी middle finger होती है उसको you will keep on the right side. And why are we keeping these two fingers on the buttons? Because if you want to press the left button, you can use your index finger. And बेटे this is called your index finger, जो आपके thumb के बिल्कुल next होती है. जो हमारे thumb के the next finger is called the index finger. यहाँ पे देखिए, इस picture में it is totally clear. This finger is called the index finger, ठीक है, which is next to your thumb. And if you want to press the left button, then you will click using this index finger. And why to keep the middle finger on the right button? So that if you want to press the right button, you can use middle finger on the right button. So we use these two fingers, we keep index finger and middle finger on the buttons of the mouse. Left button pe you will keep the index finger means which is next to your thumb, and on the right button you will keep the middle finger. And next we have hold the mouse with the rest of the fingers. आपकी जो बाकी की फिंगर्स हैं बेटे, उनको आप माउस से के आसपास वी कैन से, और यू कैन से उनको उन बाकी की फिंगर्स से यू विल होल्ड द माउस प्रॉपर्ली, एज यू कैन सी इन दिस पिक्चर एंड इन दिस पिक्चर ऑल्सो. सो यूजिंग योर हैंड यू कैन होल्ड द माउस प्रॉपर्ली. एंड जो रेस्ट ऑफ योर पाम है, वी ऑल नो व्हाट इज द पाम, ठीक है, जो हमारी फिंगर्स के नीचे का वाला पोर्शन होता है हैंड का. फिंगर्स को छोड़ दीजिए, द रेस्ट ऑफ द पार्ट ऑफ द हैंड इज कॉल्ड palm. We call it palm, PALM, palm. एंड उसको बेटे आप कहाँ पे रखोगे? ऑन द माउस. बटन्स के ऊपर यू विल पुट आउट द फिंगर्स, यू विल प्लेस योर फिंगर्स ऑन द बटन्स, एंड जो नीचे वाला पोर्शन है माउस का, उसके ऊपर यू विल कीप योर palm. ये देखिए, लेट मी शो यू द पिक्चर अगेन. यहाँ पे देखिए बेटे, here on these buttons you will keep your fingers. यहाँ पे you will keep your index finger on this button, and on the right side you will keep your middle finger. And this, look at this rest of the portion of the mouse. These here we don't have any buttons. Buttons are at the front portion only. Buttons जो है बेटे वो आगे दिए हुए हैं. So buttons के ऊपर you will keep your fingers, and on the rest of the part of the mouse, this is the rest of the part of the mouse. Here you will place your palm of the hand, and palm means fingers को छोड़ के बेटे जो बाकी का portion है, if you leave the fingers को छोड़ के, the rest of the portion of your hand is called palm. तो आप palm को कहाँ पे रखोगे? at this portion of the mouse. So in this way you can hold a mouse properly. Now what happens next? After holding the mouse properly with your fingers and with your palm, now move the mouse on the mouse pad. After that you will move the mouse on the mouse pad. Watch the movement of the pointer on the screen as you move the mouse. The first thing is that if you move the mouse, you will see that the pointer also moves. Now the question is that which is the pointer? Look at this picture. This is the monitor, and when we open the computer, when we see the screen of the computer, you will find this arrow kind of object on the computer. इस तरह से बेटे एक एरो बना होता है, ठीक है, इस तरह से एक एरो बना होता है, and that arrow is called pointer. That arrow is called pointer. As you can see here in this picture, this is pointer. We call it a pointer. So whenever we move the mouse on the mouse pad, आप बेटे जितना आप माउस पैड के ऊपर आप लोग माउस को मूव करोगे उतना ही आपका जो पॉइंटर है वो भी मूव करेगा. These all things, the working of the mouse moving the pointer, I will explain in the next session using a video. So here we are just talking about the different parts and buttons of the mouse basically. So now when we move the mouse on the mouse pad, if we notice the pointer, you will see that pointer on the screen also move with the mouse. The way you move the mouse, उसी तरह से जो है आपका पॉइंटर है वो भी मूव करेगा. सो दिस इज द POIN पॉइंट TER पॉइंटर. तो बेटे अगर आप लोग माउस को ऊपर मूव करोगे तो पॉइंटर भी आपका ऊपर मूव करेगा. बहुत ज़्यादा माउस को मूव नहीं करना होता है. इफ़ यू सी अ रियल पैड यू विल सी दैट द साइज इज़ वेरी स्मॉल. बहुत बड़ा साइज नहीं होता है एंड हमें उसको पैड पे ही मूव करना होता है. सो इफ़ यू मूव द माउस ऑन द अपर साइड, the pointer will also move in the same direction. If you move the mouse in a circular motion, the pointer will also move in the same direction, that is circular motion. And if you move the mouse to the left side or to the right side, the pointer will also move in the same directions. So in this way, a pointer works with the movement of the mouse. So here we were talking about the basic things of the mouse, that what is the mouse, why does it look like so, why do we call it a mouse, and how does it look like the mouse that is an animal. And then we had a talk about the buttons of the computer and the working of the mouse. So in the next video we will have a session on the working of the mouse, that how does it work and how we can move the mouse and how can we use it to move the pointer and to work on the computer. So this was all about today's session, and this is a homework for today everybody. You have to revise this page, whatever we have done in this video. You have to read the pages thoroughly and try to understand each and every meaning. And one more thing we are supposed to do, this is the homework for the parents also. Dear parents, show a real mouse to the child and then ask them to hold it. Tell them the proper holding of the mouse, के आपके mouse को किस तरह से hold करना है. वैसे तो I'll tell all these things in the next video through the lesson through the video lesson, but still this is your duty to show them a real mouse and to tell them about the working of the buttons. So this was your computer teacher from Mount Litra Z School, Rampura Phul. Thank you everybody and have a nice day.